US President Donald Trump has reiterated his plans to keep America safe, saying a new immigration system based on merit would be introduced. He also promised to work with America's Muslim allies to fight Daesh. Now, Michael Shure joins us now from Los Angeles for some analysis on President Trump's address. Great to have you on our program, Michael. Now, he was certainly more measured and upbeat this time. Trump started by saying the US is witnessing a renewal of the American spirit, but there's a real divide in the kind of spirit being born in the US at the moment. Was he seeking to bolster a bumpy start to his presidency, do you think?
I think so. I think at the very least seeking to temper it, put out a Donald Trump that Americans haven't seen quite yet since he's taken office. He stayed on teleprompter. He stayed on message. Very rarely did he veer off of that. And I spent a lot of time covering Donald Trump on the campaign trail. And whenever he was on teleprompter, you could be sure that he went off of it. Tonight was very different, and it became a little bit more measured. People were looking for the circus, looking for the fireworks. They didn't get it tonight. What they did was they got a message. But again, it came on the same day that some of the things he did legislatively were a little bit caustic to the other side. For example, today he ended a ban that the Obama administration had put on for people buying firearms if they were mentally ill. And that's the kind of thing that's causing problems with Democrats.
I can imagine a reaction to that. In terms of his immigration policy, he also talked through being tough on the issue and making America safe by finally enforcing those immigration laws. What were the specifics on the relationship between immigration and domestic safety?
Well, I think that's what happened. You know, a lot of these, for your viewers, these speeches are given once a year. They're called the State of the Union. On the year that a president first takes office since 1981, it's just called an address to Congress, to the joint session of Congress. So what they do is they have people that are examples of their message. Today he had family members of those who have been killed by illegal aliens on the streets of the United States in what are called sanctuary cities. He put that as part of his message on immigration. We have to get tough on criminals who are here illegally. He did soften his message a little bit by saying that there is a path to citizenship, not something that he has talked about very often. But when it comes to people who are criminals here, he doubled down on that message, one that he has taken with him around the country, and which he will take with him around the country tomorrow when he leaves, taking this message to Virginia and then to Florida.
I've been watching a fair bit of sort of media reaction, especially from the US, and it was quite strong to this particular address, saying that it was something very different to what we've seen before from Trump. But essentially, this was a conventional presidential address, delivered conventionally. Many of the ideas were the same. Any other year or perhaps president, it would be unremarkable. But did this speech stand out because in the Trump era, ordinary is extraordinary?
Well, that's a great way of putting it. I think that it stood out because it was the first time in a non-campaign, non-inaugural way that we have been able to see President Trump stand in the well of Congress and address the people. And he did it in a way that we haven't seen before. So to that end, maybe the bar was lowered or the bar was raised, however you look at it. So Donald Trump gave the people what they hadn't expected. And I think that's what was remarkable about it. But again, as Democrats were saying today, whether you think he gave a good speech or not, tomorrow the legislation that he has been pushing forward with executive orders for the last 40 days are going to resume. As a matter of fact, one of his executive orders he's pushed by another day to bask in the glory of what his people are saying this speech was. But when it gets back to the legislative business, I think people are going to start seeing Donald Trump. And again, tomorrow morning he may hit Twitter again. Tonight he stayed off of it. Tomorrow morning he may hit Twitter, and then we may just reset to where we were before the speech.
Yeah, we'll have to see where that unpredictability takes us. Michael, great to have you on our program. Thank you so much for that. Michael Shure from Los Angeles for us there.